I'm back with another stream. This time I'm gonna continue my boss series, and I want to give you guys a guide on Visual Odin. Since today's Monday, it should be Visual Odin in the reward up. Let me go check it out. just like every other guide in my channel, I'm gonna go over the weaknesses, and there it is, the Visual Odin reward up. So we're gonna get right into that in just a moment, just to show you guys and give you a couple of tips before we start. This is how I'm gonna break it down. So from the research I've done and from what I've figured out for myself, I'm gonna do another battle test for you guys to see firsthand on how effective my information should be for you. And of course, this information is just a guide to help you. You may not have some of the same strength that I have, or you may not have some of the items I have available to me, or you might even be stronger than me, so it might not even help you as much as you thought. But for those of you, this is for those of you that have no idea or know very little about Visual Odin, don't have much experience with him, and therefore hopefully it helps you out. Visual Odin, to start out with, it looks like Visual Odin is a phantom nature. He's a phantom, he's listed as phantom nature monster. With that being said, I don't know many vanguards that could help you. I don't really know any vanguards that are strong against phantoms, rather, but we do know his weakness. He is weak to ice, he's weak to dark, and he's weak to rain. So I'm gonna repeat that for you guys. His weaknesses are ice, dark, and rain. I'd say his main weakness would be dark and rain versus ice, but all three of them should definitely work. What I'm gonna run today, even though I have this ice weapon out in my rhyme, I got two rhymes. One is for rain and one is for the ice. I run a lot of rain with my silhouettes and all, so that's what I'm gonna end up running, and I'm gonna show you the vanguard that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna do like two separate runs of them. My favorite vanguard to use, I know she does very well. If you have Sailor Saratobi, she should do a very good job against Visual Odin. Mine isn't anywhere near max scrolled, so even when I do get the user, as you can see, I can only swap into her for 45 seconds. Now Visual Odin on Hell is very strong, so that being said, you gotta be extra careful. If I were to swap into her, you see how many scrolls I'm missing, and that was from neglecting the event where she came out. I wish I never done that. But you find any of your vanguards that have strength where his weakness is, and that's ice, dark, or rain, they should do well. In this instance though, I'm gonna use Lancelot. Lancelot's really good for holy and rain, and like I said before, I run a lot of rain and I have a lot of rain element. I'll show you exactly what I'm working with right before we start. I could go to equip. Alright, so I got three different weapons that have rain element on them. As you can see, all three weapons have at least 40 rain element on them. But I'm going to use the Rev 2 to switch into the Vanguard because it's the highest in attack that I have right now until I reach to level 125, which then I would start building up a Rev 3. The accessories that I'm using is, this one's going to help out with my cooldown cut, which is very useful for me even when I switch to the Vanguard. And also it gives me the extra affinity that I need just in case something goes wrong and I need to do some DPS. This is for extra element. This is to make sure that my element is maxed out. I think most elements max out at like 250. I'm just about sure that it maxes out at 250. And this also adds some SP reduction and some critical force, which is also helpful. It also gives me an attack boost, so when I swap into the Vanguard, not only is it giving me maxed out element, but it's helping me out and hitting harder when I attack. Of course, the mags definitely matter. When switching into a Vanguard, you want to have as much element and as much skill force as possible when switching over. As of right now, as you can see, with this Rev 2 in my hands, I have about 475 skill force from rank 5 and up. And most of the skills that I put on the Vanguard are rank 5 and up, so it always translates. And also, as you can see on my Rev 2, I have nothing but rank 5 and up skills on there as well. So even if I had to use my Rev 2, it should still do a lot of damage. Now here's the status details to show you I'm not bluffing. I have 250 rain element right here, and all these other elements is not to worry about. He uses a lot of fire, so he can do a lot of damage to me. But I just got to be more careful on that part. So all I got to do is be more careful on that part. I have a very good critical force. That extra 10 critical force really helped out. I got 180 now. I got a lot of recovery, 70 cooldown cut. That's really good. Alright, then let's get back into farming Visul Odin. So I got Lancelot. I got everything prepared. Gonna run into the daily and see what we can do against Visul Odin. Alright, so I have 123 energy. This takes up about 60 to run them on Hell. Hell is the easiest way. Well, it's the most effective way of running this dungeon. On Hell, you can get you get increased chances on getting weapons to identify. So he'll drop weapons you can identify. Some are more key than others. He'll also drop recipes and also materials to craft his weapons and whatnot. So you want to be careful while you're inside the dungeon. A dungeon of this difficulty, definitely a lot of the mobs are strong too, so be careful with that. I like to run Icicle Punishment. It usually does a lot of damage, like collateral damage. And with that, I don't have to worry too much. If I get a solid hit on majority of the room, I don't have to worry too much about running through. And as you can see, that cooldown cut is just so key because I can just literally spam just about this skill. And for those of you that missed out on this skill in that event, I feel very sorry for you. This skill is OP. it's looking a little rough right now. No swordsman, so it's kind of expected. A lot of Visul Odin is a very confrontational boss, so he fights very close. He's an up-close fighter, so be careful with that. Any build that you run that's not an up-close fighter, you definitely want to keep your distance from him. Now, as you can see, some of these shortcuts that I have are very key. If I wanted double the drops, I would do this, but most of his stuff comes from the reward up. That's why I waited till Monday to do a god, because the reward up will allow me to get more without needing to do a drop boost. But these potions are really going to help, so you definitely want to utilize those while in dungeon. I also have my first aid staff here with me, that anytime I need some heals, if I keep my distance from them, then I should be fine. Now I'm switching back into my most powerful ranged weapon, and Lancelot's already full in that god's right there, so we're going to go into the boss room. As soon as we get there, I'm going to go ahead and switch into Lancelot. Now Lancelot can take a lot of damage. I do have a lot of scrolls for her, and she is just about max, but she does still take a lot of damage from this guy. So what you want to do is you want to swap into her, and you want to go rain. So you want to get this, get in close. You want to hit as many of these attacks as you can before he gets his shots in, because he hits for a lot of damage, and after a while he hits even more. As you can see, he's already taken care of her already. And from here, here's what we're gonna do. This is the most dangerous skill he has in his arsenal, because it stuns you and gives him almost a free hit. Now from here, we're gonna swap over, try to dodge some of his attacks. Ah, that's tough. I tried. I'm gonna use a soul head in this one. Okay. Give myself a little bit. Get out of the way of his strike. Try to avoid him. He's pretty tricky, boss. And you don't know which way he's gonna go, but you definitely want to keep that attack on. Want to keep moving. Want to keep moving. He attacks for a lot though, and you don't know which way he's gonna come from. Alright, you want to keep your distance. Get a couple more hits off. And you don't know which way he's going to spin, so always prepare yourself. And get a cheap shot in. Alright, we can use her. Let's go back into her. Alright. We get some more really good hits. Try to get in close to him. Come on, kid. I'm gonna be able to use this hot potion. Crap. Dude. He's a tough one, man. Might have to DPS him. It's kind of hard to keep away. And that stun is just his best weapon. I'm gonna try to perfect block everything. It's not that easy. I knew it. Okay, there's a stun. Be careful. Try to get a couple more easy hits in. Couple more. Couple more. You want to get a perfect block. If you don't get a perfect block, you're going to take a lot of damage. Just like that. He's a very crafty guy. Now, if I was a build to have more... Oh my god. If I was a build that had a lot more defense, I missed the perfect block again. Jesus Christ. He just spams it at this point. It's because the only reason he spams it is because he has you have his health so low. So see how he gets a second hit in and you're still stunned. Alright, so we're gonna try to finish him off. There we go. Oh, that was a tough run, man. It's always better to do these runs when you're not solo, though. Always better to do runs when you're not solo. But, just in the case that you are solo, just be very careful. The more that you fight them, though, the more experience you'll get better timing. A lot of those attacks I could have perfect blocked a little bit more. And as you've seen throughout the gameplay, I did a couple of perfect blocks that saved my life, but there was other times where I missed completely, you know, on those perfect blocks, and it really cost me. If you have a supporter, or you know, you running with a teammate, this is what it's all about. Oh yeah, I'm gonna run another one. Sometimes you gotta be pretty evasive. I'll switch back to this guy. Try to get that huge group right here. Awesome. Now we cleared the room. Switching to our weapon. And it's always like good to remember your lineup and set your lineup accordingly. So if I could just remember when I have this staff out, or whenever I have this bow out, rather, to switch into Lancelot, which I'll be using most of the time. So if I just press up, I have it to where if I press up, I literally pull out my staff and I can just literally heal myself. And then whenever I press down, I switch back to the bow. So up is staff and down is bow. If I keep reminding myself to do that, I should be able to support myself in desperate times and continue to attack. Alright. Alright, so she did a lot more damage that time. Uh-oh. It's gonna hurt me right here. I'm still forgetting. Timing is critical. If you can get that timing down pat, you won't have much to worry about. It's always best to spin a little bit. There's a good perfect block right there. Getting some pretty good shots in. Keep spinning around. Got in a couple hits. Come on. I did it the wrong time again? That's a death. He stuns you for so long, it's annoying. That's why it's always good to have one more person in with you. It's annoying. So it's stunned. It's just stunned. There we go. Perfect block. The most important hit right there. I'll be careful of that. And I didn't get that one. I didn't get that one. He's gonna kill her again. He's so annoying with his stuns. That's what makes him so strong.
Stop.
Alright, here we go. Heal ourselves while he's doing that. It looks like he doesn't want us to heal. There we go. Back into the bowl. Continue to fight. There we go. Good dodge. Knew those were coming. Well, I didn't know that was coming. Alright, while you're doing that, try to keep healing ourselves and blocking a little bit, using a little bit of defense. Alright, on the attack now. Dang it, yo, I swear I blocked that, yo. Alright, we're back in it. Got another round of this. Alright, where is he? Look at how much health he takes. took her out. Alright, now we just out DPS them. And he's gonna swing around this way. I can't even protect myself. Like, this stun is OP. It's the most OP thing he has. It's so hard to protect yourself when you don't get that perfect block, so that's why it's so important to get it. You see how many perfect blocks I've gotten this run, but you see how many times it took. Like how many attacks he could get in an instant. He can get off like 3 different attacks while you attack him like once or twice. Some would say I have sort of an advantage because I can attack from a range, from a distance from him, to avoid some of his attacks. But the thing about it is, I run less HP and less defense than most other builds. So that's where my build isn't the best for running this. To be honest, I think dark is the most effective element against Visual Odin. And I don't have much dark element. I have some though. I could give it a test after this. I could give it a test. I don't know if I have a really good dark element Vanguard though, right now. I'm gonna double check. Alright, let me set up for a dark run. I know Wolf King should be really good. But if I'm gonna do that, I should double her up first. But she at least gives me 60 seconds when she swaps in already. you would honestly think Ibis should be able to destroy Visul Odin with her dark element. It's not as much as King Wolf Kaguya, but it's still some there, and he's level 80. But you don't want to take that chance. Oda's really good. Oda's a really good option. I don't even know if I have her dark skills unlocked. There's one. Oda should do well. I think shooting is a really good one. Shooting is one I should think about as well. Dark elements at 40. Oda's at 50. But since Wolf Kaguya is so powerful with dark, I'm gonna build her up. But yeah, that was my small little guide for Visul Odin. Hopefully it helped a lot of you guys out. It wasn't my most successful runs. I'll probably run that thing more effectively with someone else, or you know, get a little lucky to get that pattern down for his attacks. There's been times where I've gotten all perfect blocks and I've had really good runs, but as you can see, nonetheless, even solo, I did complete the dungeon. It cost me a couple soul eggs, and you know, it wasn't the prettiest thing, but I did get the job done, and as you can see, I didn't need too much help. But small support is awesome. If you have this game with a buddy, make sure you run it with a buddy. He is pretty powerful, but for someone like myself, all that would need to happen is just a little bit of support and HP from when I'm in my Vanguard form, so he doesn't get one of those critical hits on me. They switch me out of her, and then I could literally destroy him. But yeah, hopefully this was informational, guys. So I'm gonna check out.